this presentation is how can I reduce my environmental footprint. It will completely focus on reducing my footprint by taking public transport to work versus driving. What does environmental footprint mean? The concept of an environmental footprint is relatively new and due to differing opinions on what exactly it is. The topic can often seem confusing. Like many environmental issues, the term has been debated and muddled with different opinions on what it means, what it includes, and the application for our purposes. However, we will use a definition from Cambridge Business English Dictionary. The fact that a person, company, activity, etc., has on the environment, for example, the amount of natural resources that they use and the amount of harmful gases that they produce. This definition could be explained better in this diagram. The ecological footprint measures how fast we consume resources and generate waste compared to how fast nature can absorb our waste and generate new resources. The footprint represents two sides of a balance sheet. On the asset side, biocapacity represents the plant's biological productivity, land areas including our forests, pastures, cropland, and fisheries. These areas, especially if left unharvested, can also absorb much of the waste we generally, especially our carbon emission. Areas that make up my footprint is energy, water, waste. How can I reduce my footprint? Now the issue is how can I reduce my footprint? To do that, I have planned to do activity within these following steps. Step 1. Find out ecological footprint of the world and Australia to compare with. Step 2. Take a quiz. Use footprint calculator to find out my impact on environmental footprint. Step 3. Plan to reduce environmental footprint. So these things environmental footprint reduce by cut down on electricity, use less water, reduce consumables, reduce transport footprint, pick up one activity that has major impact on my footprint, driving a car to work, calculate environmental footprint for this activity, find solution to lower the impact. World Ecological Footprint Living Planet Report 2014. According to this report, it shows that the 1.5 Earth would be required to meet the demand humanity makes on nature each year between 1970 and 2010. The population sizes of vertebrate species have dropped by half. WWF found Living Planet Report 2014 found in 2010 the global ecological footprint was 18.1 billion global hectares GHA or 2.6 GHA per capita. This means that Earth people needed 18 billion hectares of productive land in order to provide each and every person with resources they require to support their life and to absorb the waste they produce. The bad news is that there were only 12 billion global hectares available. This means that in 2010, people use about 50% more natural resources than the planet could generate. The message is clear and urgent. We need to consume less if we are to live within the regenerative capacity of the earth. The graph tracks the per person ecological footprint and biocapacity in Australia since 1961. Technological advances have raised the planet total biocapacity from 9.9 to 12 billion GHA between 1961 and 2010. However, during the period, the human population has risen from 3.1 billion to nearly 7 billion people, reducing the available biocapacity. The carbon has been the dominant component of humanity ecological footprint for more than a half century. In 1961, carbon was 36% of our total footprint, but by 2010 it comprised 53%. Ecological footprint by consumption category for Australia. According to Global Footprint Network statistical sources in Australia, we are consuming more than 3 times our fair share of the planet natural resources. On a global scale, Australia have one of the largest environmental footprint per capita in the world, requiring 6.25 global hectares per person. If the rest of the world lived like we do in Australia, we would need the regenerative capacity of 3.6 Earth to sustain our demand on nature. As can be seen in diagram, in the year 2003-2004, the approximate contribution of the various components were food 24%, goods 17%, energy use 13%, mobility 11%. Our way of life in Australia is threatening the future of our planet. We have been exceeding the Earth's ability to support our lifestyle. Habitats are being destroyed, our soils and waterways are being degraded. The balance must be restored. How is an ecological footprint calculated? With the help of these formula, we can do the calculation of the footprint. Information required to calculate transportation footprint. Method of transportation, various energy utilized, waste to toxins produced, material required, distance traveled. How big is my car footprint? Before starting my calculation, I want to read the note. This is an underestimate. As I did not factor in the footprint of the car itself or the maintenance of the car. What is the effect of car cooling? There is only one person, that is me, making the commute. If I share this commute with another person, each of our commuting footprint is cut in half. The reduction is from 1.65 to 0.82 acres and from 36% to 13%. If three or more people share the commute, the reduction would be even greater. So, uh, in this comparison, the the footprint the consumed by individual car is 1.25 hectare. According to Living Planet report, share taken up by this compute 36%. If I take public transport, this footprint can be shared and therefore could be huge reduction in the footprint. So if I take the example of public transport footprint, here the footprints 0.5016 hectare is more than half of the car footprint, which was 1.25 hectare, and in public transport footprint 0.5. Imagine for myself a lifestyle where I did not own a car, commit to giving it for 3 consecutive days. Try to reduce to half of world transportation footprint.